Hey everybody, welcome to Painting for Pleasure. I'm your host, Tony Visco. So, today we're going to do a house. House on a hill, and it's going to have some focus. We're going to focus in on certain areas. Probably do some detail on the edges, but basically what we're trying to do is to just give us a little bit of an insight as to how to put a home together, and it's going to be a white home. So I'm going to sketch this out right now, and I'm going to come over here and we're just going to do a nice long roof over here, and we're going to come up this way. This is going to end up sloping down and coming at me. So essentially we're going to do something like this. My building is going to be here, top of the roof. I'm going to see this side of it over here. We're going to end up probably seeing, we'll do a chimney on this side. Nice good fat chimney over there. And this is going to come up a bit like this. And we'll put a little chimney in here, right on the edge, and that's going to come down. My roof line is going to go right into that. So these two are going to connect here. So that's this. This is actually slightly slanted up a bit. We'll do something like this here, this here. Come down. So this is an outside chimney's on the outside of the house here. So that's going to come down. And then I think what's going to end up happening is that we're going to end up probably putting in, as this comes down, it's a two-story home. So we'll have a nice fat window over here, and we'll have a window down here. The same way it's going to be, we're going to end up doing the same thing over here. Actually, this window is going to be up closer to the top in this area here. All right, so we'll do a little window there, maybe one here. Old farmhouse, old barn house, I guess, old farmhouse. Bring this down here. This is two connecting pieces that are coming in. And maybe I'm going to end up putting in another little shed entrance right here. So we got the coming in, coming down. Okay, so we got a little entrance, shed entrance, walkway entrance, I guess. So we want that to come over. We got this is a little porch entrance over here. And so this is going to go back. This is coming back. This is coming across roughly like so, and this is coming out to this point here. Maybe what we'll do is we'll hang on the back side of this, maybe a small area back here. So my basic home structure, that's going to be set back. Little line here now. And what we'll do is put some So if this comes over here, my top of the windows are going to be sort of here and here. If you put a couple of windows on this side here, and it'll be out to this point here. All right. So probably put just a couple of windows right there. So okay. So this is my sort of rough building, and this is going to come out. So we'll have again. This is coming down here. We got posts over here. Maybe a sort of walkway into this thing here, and this is a chimney that's coming down in this area here. All right, so where's the door? Well, not sure yet what we want to do with the door, but I think what I want to do is put a tree. So we need something in here to hide this area here. We're going to hide everything, put it, make it a little bit more interesting. We've got this couple of fir trees over here in the corner of this house here, and maybe a few other things. We're going to put it on a hill. So I think what I'm going to do is sort of come down here. This is going to be on a hill, and I'm going to end up probably putting a big tree pretty big. Well, I'm not sure. Let me see. Let me think about this. Do I want that little... Yeah, maybe so. Maybe we want a big tree here, but maybe not as wide. So that we're blocking all of this out like this. So that whole area is behind that tree. And I got to be careful because I'm coming into the center of this. Okay. So anyway, we've got something that's going on here. Maybe we got a window in this area here, and maybe we'll put another building behind it. How's that? Maybe a barn. I don't know. Put something behind here. And a little thing back, sort of make this a hill here. And we'll do a couple of trees between here and here. Okay, so if this is a hill coming down, this is all going to be grass. I'm going to put another tree right here. And maybe what we're going to do is put some... I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's make this a road. I might change this. I'm not sure. Well, I think I'm going to bring this a little higher. I don't like that so low. Alright, so that's coming back here. Another barn over here. Another home over this way here. Maybe we'll make this just a big barn with a barn door that's opened over here. Pointing in that direction. That's fine. So we're going to have some trees. And we'll put maybe a big tree right here. So we're concentrating all of this stuff in this area. All right. How about a mountain in the background? I'm actually going to come in down here and make my road right about here. And probably, hey, how about some, I don't know, see if we can do this, some steps. Do you want steps there? Oh, maybe the steps should be over here. Maybe coming down that way instead of that way. No steps there. And probably how about we come down here? We'll just put some sort of a post here, maybe a mailbox. Characteristic shape, flag. No, this is just, and maybe a fence posts. How about we need something in the foreground here. Let's just I'll put a mountain back here too. I'm not sure about this tree. I don't think so. I think I'm just going to probably remove that. I might remove that. Yeah, you know what? Maybe a couple of rocks here and there. This is all kind of come down anyway, so maybe a rock over here. This is a roadway. And we'll just probably do some stuff here. Okay, stuff there. Okay. We have to sort of take a look at how we're going to handle this. So we'll end up probably doing light this way, shadow, shadow, shadow. We'll do this one in shadow here. Shadow in the barn there. We'll sort of shadow a lot of this stuff as it comes down. All right, we got our little setting going, and we can probably do something with this. Probably some trees and make some of this more interesting here. Maybe some. Yeah, there you go. Maybe a brush or some dirt over here. Road coming over. Okay. Anyway, probably ready to get started to paint. So here we go. We're going to do this. We're going to start off with our sky. And let me just move this up a bit in this area. Maybe I'll even tape it down. I was going to tape it. You know what I'm going to do this time around? I think what I'll do is I'll wet the... Yeah, let's just wet the paper. I'm going to wet both sides of this. We'll wet the paper up pretty good on this side. Now this is, I'm just trying something here, so I want to just let it flatten out. Okay, a little nice water on this side. And then when I turn it over, hopefully it'll stick down and stay in position. And we're going to start and move it up a bit. Okay, so we're going to end up starting with the sky. And the sky is, what I'm doing here is there's actually a slight cast of warmth, a little bit of yellow, I suppose, in this right now. But I'm coming around here. This is going to be the sky, and I'm going to put a big tree, my big tree in there, painting around this building, down into the mountain range here. And we'll just do, interesting, we're going to do a sort of a light, hazy. What I'm doing is taking a little bit of cobalt blue here and running this sort of around my barn. All right, and around my house. And we'll just take a little bit of cool, like cool yellow, which is basically going to be my Naples yellow. Yellow ochre, Naples yellow, a little bit of mixture of yellow ochre. Come down here, we're just going to warm up the sky over here a little bit. And make sure that we have just a touch, take a little bit of touch of my purple in here. So we have a various movements. And now back in this area, I'm putting a bit of a mountain in here, or let's say some hills in the background. So let's get that in as a purplish area, and I'm going to end up coming down here a bit, give it some warmth as it comes down. Maybe move it up a bit. Let's see. So we'll play around with that. So we're just sort of balancing this off a bit. Now, here, I'm going to come in and create a real more heavily pigmented area, which is going to be indicative of some land mass on the left-hand side. We'll probably play around with that. And I'm going to do the same thing down here because we have a nice land mass, and I'm going to start off with laying in some right. This is basically a little bit of a wash of yellow ochre. And I'm going to lighten it up as I come up here. Go right over that because we're going to end up going over that anyway. Nothing but yellow ochre. A lot of water. I'm making some of this real dark. Okay. Okay, my roadway is going to be in here. Start to put some interesting value behind my house. Make some of these trees very interesting, autumn-like. We'll do, okay, one there, so a little bit of a balance in that. I'm going to make this one pretty big and pretty dark. I also want to be able to take, whoop, I guess I'm going to use that. Wasn't going to do that, but we'll do it. And make some green here, olive green, so we're going to come in with my yellow ochre. I'm doing this all watery. I mean, actually, let me take a look. See, this is just all a mixture of water, very light colors right now. A little bit of New Gamboge, a little bit of yellow ochre. Wash it out, and I'm going to come in here with my cerulean blue to get a greenish color. And we're going to end up with my big brush just laying some sort of greens in here. Give you the illusion or the impression of green grass. Sweep it down. And what I'm going to also do is do the same thing over here. All right, so we'll build some up, but I want to get the road in there first. So I'm building all of this stuff around my house. Now I've let this dry a bit to the point where I think I can come in here with some heavier pigment. And I'm mixing up a heavier bit of green and take the water out of my brush. And I'm going to put the so we'll pick this stuff up and start to put some heavy greens in here. Not heavier enough, I don't think, but we'll see. Now my paints are dry, and the reason I'm doing this is that my paints are dry. Like a lot of us, that we tend to leave our paints without any moisture in them. So now I'm picking up pigment. The brush is dry, not dry, but it's got some moisture in it, but it's not wet. And I'm right now just coming in here and I'm putting in some of my couple of green trees. Maybe one over here too. We're going to come down. Some fairly large trees, and we're going to change that up a little bit. Put a little bit more. I'll make a little bit more of an olive. Get some brown in here as we come down. Dark green, using burnt sienna, French ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, or cerulean blue, and coming in here, coming around my house. And at this stage, it should be fine enough or good enough so that I should be able to get this in here with enough going on so that we'll throw a couple of more trees in here to bring this over. So I should be able to show up my house pretty good. Okay, and we'll just add a bit here and there. Maybe we'll put maybe put one up over here. Balance this out. Some dark spots down in this area. And I'll probably put some more stuff up in there too as well. I'm just gonna, now that this is a little bit drier, pull out some light spots here and there. Okay. So So let me I was using my big fat brush to do all of that. And I haven't done anything with my house yet. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Should I do that? No, everything is blocked out, so it's okay. Let's get let me get something to scrape this with. Because I want to bring it's a little bit still too wet. Too wet. Because we do want to scrape some of this. Maybe this is dry enough down here. Okay. And we'll scrape a couple of them in here. Alright, just a couple. And what I'll do is make the rest of it dark. I think what I'm going to do is come in here with a nice dark. Now again, my darks: French ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, let's try that. Fix that up a little bit. Okay, let that all dry out. Now, we have a general contour of our land. We have a road that's in here. Let's just take a look at that road. Maybe we'll do a little bit of that nice purple. See this mountain? I've lost most of it, so I'm going to put some of it back. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here. We'll put some of it back here. Some of it back here. Okay. And let's get some well, now I gotta let that dry first, because we do have to put a tree in here. So I want to do that. I know we got a house in here, but we do have some stuff that's going on. Okay. A little dark. A little dark back here, a little darker back here. All right, and this is boring, so we're just going to make some of this a little bit darker. So if the sun is, if this is in shadow here, we'll have some of the shadow coming down this way. Okay. And let's do this here right now. Put that in wet. And again, some strong pigment. This is yellow ochre. In the foreground. Okay, so my roadway is going down this way here. Let's let it dry, and then we'll come back. Okay, it's fairly dry right now, and I'm going to start to take a look at doing some finer detail in here. See if it's dry. We'll try to model some of the barn, the houses the house that I have there, and make it look a little bit more interesting. And we're going to start to build some of the docks around it. But the first thing we need to do is to obviously take a look at how we want to handle this house. And I think what I want to do is I want to get some fresh water. Okay, so let's take a look at basically what we're going to do is our shadow side. And I want the shadow side to have some warmth to it as well. So let's take a look at maybe starting with this barn. A little bit of yellow. A little bit of by yellow I'm talking about. Drop a little bit of burnt sienna in there, and then I'm going to come down with a cooler color, which is going to be my blue. Okay, well, let's make sure that this is nice and straight too. Okay. Same thing with this over here. Over here. do the same thing over here, but we need a little bit of warmth up at the top. A little warmth on the top. And we're going to just actually come down here. So this is my white house. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing with this. We have a roof line here. Strong roof line under there. Okay. And this is all going to be dark under here. Okay, so the shadow should be on this side here. Thick shadow there. Maybe a thin shadow here. Thin shadow there. Whoops, I did that incorrectly. Let me take that out of there. That's my light side. Okay, so I've got some shadows in my home. Let's go inside now. Inside this big barn. Make that barn door nice and dark. We're looking in the inside of this sucker. I'm just going to put in some dark areas right here. Big dark area. Some darks. docks in that area right there. Gonna wait till that dries. So okay. All right, let's get some water in here, get some docks in here. I'm just putting in some, hopefully some, what I consider some interesting just shapes, I guess, just to give it a little bit more interest. Let me see if I can scrape some of that out of there. I'm not too sure I can do that. Try it. I think it's too dry, personally. Okay. My house. See if that works there. Maybe we'll put a tree back here. Let's see. Took it out originally, but maybe I'm going to put it back in. More of a strong tree. I think they need to sort of lighten some of this stuff up here. And I'm going to have to just do some real quick. I'll get my let's get a little bit darker. In here, darker in here, maybe darker right here, and assuming that we got one down here. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing with this. We need to get using dry brush over here to finalize this. Nice and crisp up there. Coming down. Forgive me for this, I'm just going to turn it for a bit, make it easier for me to just do this. Okay. Just going to touch this up here a bit. The sun's coming down on this side, so a little bit of shadow on that side. All right, so that takes care of that. Let's come in here and give myself a little bit more of an interesting amount of bush structure or whatever, tree structure right here. And this is all with, basically what I'm doing actually is it's all with dry paint. I mean, not, but what, by dry paint what I mean is that I usually, I mean, you can, let me take a look, let me show you the palette. I mean, the palette is pretty dry. I've just been wetting the surface because all of this paint has been hard in here. And I'm just trying to show you that you can accomplish this kind of painting. But it takes a little bit more work because you really can't pick up too much pigment. So I'm just coming in here and scumbling a bit to create the illusion. Of a bush. And got a roadway, leaving this pretty much white. I may do a little bit of something more here, a little mailbox, maybe some, again, some wooden, doing some wooden ties, walkway. Give you a direction of going up and over the porch, coming down to the mailbox. And a little bit more green. Maybe make this, some of this a bit darker in here. By darker, I'm just using a little bit more of my burnt, New Gamboge, I'm so sorry, combination of New Gamboge, but with French ultramarine blue. To okay. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. No. Well, we'll let that dry a bit. They're too thick. A little bit too thick. Couple of good old folk over there. The backyard. I think I'm pretty much gonna wrap this up. Okay. And let me put in a couple of poles. I don't know what they are, but just interest. All right, so let me just sort of go back and just put a little bit more shadow in here. I think we'll call that one a painting. So thank you for being with me. I'm your host, Tony Visco. And until the next time, remember, this is all about painting for pleasure. Have a good week. Bye-bye.